smiling kind of my thing now. Ever since I met Natalie, it's just...
This is so good, Oscar.
I love it.
I have one more thing to say. You remember what we said last time in the beginning of our session?
I did it.
I could tell you and everybody else. I said, there will always be people who don't like you, and there will always be people who do like you, so you have to be yourself. Hi everyone, welcome back to episode 3 of Quest for Knowledge. Today I'm here with Oscar. I don't know how to say his last name because I don't know how to roll my R's, but you can say your last name.
Oscar Herrera, or in Spanish, Oscar Herrera.
Herrera. That's right. So he is my boxing coach at my favorite place. And my favorite place is not Italy, not Switzerland, none of those things. It's Lifetime Fitness, the best place to be. I'll put the link in the bio for you to join and everything. But he was actually a Marine.
Yes.
In 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And he fought in Afghanistan in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you like to tell us how you joined the Marines?
So, joined the Marines when I was 21 years old, 2011. And just happened to be because my friend has taken the ASVAB test 3 times, right? He failed 3 times. Then he took me on the 4th time because we just happened to be going to the mall in New York.
The shopping spree.
Shopping spree at a shopping center. And so I tagged along with him, and he took the test, failed it again for the 4th time. Then I went ahead and said, how hard can this be? And I went ahead and took it, and I got a 94, 92, somewhere around that. And the recruiter looked at me and said, why don't you join the Marine Corps? At first I said no, and
why'd you say no?
Because it wasn't for me. It was, at the time I was in between jobs, and I was doing HVAC in New York City, and it was very inconsistent. Money was good when I had the job, but very inconsistent. But then, so I realized that a few months, maybe 2 months after that, it was very inconsistent. I said no to him initially, and then thought about it, went back to the recruiting station and asked him about my option. And he literally sat down. He told me we didn't want people to join the Marines that don't want to be a Marine, because the Marines hold themselves to a higher standard, and they just want people that want to be Marines within the branch. But we sat down and pulled out a book with few options of career paths. He asked me, what do you want in life? Pick 3 topics. And one of the topics I picked were travel, education, and financial stability.
Education. Why education?
So growing up, I didn't know this up until I was in high school. Mm-hmm. But I was deemed smart, you know.
Oh,
and so,
you know your IQ, maybe?
Yeah. IQ. No, I don't know my IQ.
I should get that tested.
I should get that tested.
Go ahead.
But I was in honors class my entire life. Kindergarten and 1st grade, I was in bilingual class. But then 2nd and beyond, I was in honors class. So I was book smart, and growing up in New York, you had to kind of be street smart.
You are street smart. I tell you about your emotional intelligence.
Yeah, you tell me that all the time, and I don't believe you. But
you should believe me.
I should believe you. You know, but yeah, I joined the Marines, and then I chose security forces, but the needs of the Marine Corps, they told me that they needed people in field artillery, in combat related job. And so I took a different route and went down to field artillery, went to schoolhouse in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, then got stationed in San Francisco, California. And from there on, I got 3 deployments and, you know, traveled the world, which is checked off the bucket list. Anywhere in Southeast Asia. So I started off in Hawaii, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Cambodia, Vietnam, Kuwait, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Iraq, but didn't go to war in Iraq, just went to Iraq. I don't even know what else. Like, you name it, I've probably been there.
You are a world traveler.
Mm-hmm. And I got paid to travel.
Yeah.
This is a plus.
You get paid to travel.
Paid to travel.
So what did your family think about you?
My mom didn't like it initially. Mm-hmm. And, you know, but she was proud that I went, and I graduated from boot camp. She actually made it to my graduation, which I didn't expect anybody to be at, but she made it. And which was in South Carolina, Paris Islands. And then, you know, so she dealt with the fact that I had a high chance of getting into 42 war, which I did in 2013, which Afghanistan. And it was rough because growing up, I was a mama's boy. You know, my dad was always working, as most dads are. You know, and but you know, I tried to call her a few times through a satellite phone, and it wasn't the best situation because if you ever use satellite phone, you know there's a delay, like 2 second delay between, between conversations. So you're talking, and then I'm trying to talk at the same time. There's like a delay, and we pull up each other consistently.
That's scary.
What's up? Yeah, but we went to 4 different locations in Afghanistan. Don't ask me where because all they literally did was board us up in a helicopter, drop us off, shoot artillery, did artillery, mortars, rockets, tanks, and basically grunt stuff. So just hiking along.
Drugs?
Grunts.
Oh, you
Grunts.
guys know.
So
Okay.
grunts are the infantry. So we just travel and walk on foot.
Oh.
We walked alongside tanks. Sometimes I was in the tanks. Sometimes I was on the side of the tanks. We shot rockets a lot.
You guys do everything.
Yeah, artillery. Yeah. We get called for everything. So
Like the Navy's just in the water, right?
yeah.
The
Navy.
Army, sky.
Sky. Well, Army does ground forces, and yeah, it's really, as far as I know, that's my experience working with them. That's all they really do. But Marines, we do ground, air, and water. So we're amphibious.
Doing all the things.
Yeah, all the things. And even though we're amphibious, I only tested out for amphibious force once. That was when I first got into boot camp. And then never tested out again. So my swimming skills were lacking, to say the least.
Mine too, by the way. So he's a very mentally tough person. I've told him it all along our boxing experiences, which is like a weeping for me. My poor parents, by the way. But
it is fun though. It is
really fun. You should come. All right. So basically, where do you think you learned mental toughness specifically in your career in the Marines?
So I think it started before the Marine Corps. So growing up in New York, I've actually come across a lot of members here, specifically in Boca, lifetime in Boca, where they know the location I grew up in Brooklyn. And we talked a lot about my neighborhood specifically, where they said the era I grew up in wasn't the best, it was the most inviting era. And growing up, there was a lot of fights, a lot of drugs, a lot of crime, a lot of so stuff I grew up seeing as normal was very abnormal outside of New York City. And I didn't come to realize that until I was in the Marines, actually. And so 21 years of growing up in Brooklyn, to say the least, I've seen people getting stabbed. I've seen people getting shot from a distance. I was never involved firsthand. Robberies. I've actually seen a carjack happen in front of me. Like, car was here, I was here, carjack happened. I had a red light.
Did you do something?
Nope, never did. I tried to stay away.
Oscar, why wouldn't you do something?
Nope, they had a gun.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I was not, I walked into the deli instead of helping the guy out. So
Did you get a bagel at least?
I watched the crime happen and I walked out of the deli, didn't buy anything.
You could have watched it eating the bagel.
I could have, yeah. It happened so fast though that I didn't think anything of it. And yeah, I got chased through parks by people, like youth people.
You personally?
Yeah, me personally.
Why'd they chase you?
No idea, because they have no clue. But that was in a neighborhood called Brownsville. I grew up in a neighborhood called Bushwick. They basically named it like one neighborhood away.
Yeah.
But Brownsville is known for high crime rates, and my best friend growing up was in a project neighborhood in Brownsville. So I visited him a handful of times and everything. And to this day, that was the worst place I've ever been to. And I've been to Afghanistan, so I give you a perspective of how bad things really. Yeah.
I guess you guys can't go to Brooklyn, New York.
In Brownsville, don't go to Brownsville. Well, at least I don't know how it is now, but back then it was really bad. And that was in the era of where Mike Tyson was from, so.
I'm not familiar with
Mike Tyson, yeah. So Mike Tyson got bullied in Brownsville, and I would say he was in the worst era of growing up in Brooklyn. There was an era between that and mine, but it was still pretty bad. And coming from experiencing Afghanistan to Brownsville, I would gladly volunteer to go back to Afghanistan, but I would not go to Brownsville.
Are you serious?
I am so serious. I would not visit that place again. If it was at the same rate of crime it was when I was growing up.
Yeah.
know, but that's where I think my mental toughness and fortitude comes from, right? It's, being street savvy or street smart, knowing when to talk, when not to talk, talking to the right people, being very, aware of your situation, your surroundings, You're just kind of gauging the, vibe in that area, it's kind of,
In Brownsville.
even in Bushwick, Bushwick is where I grew up and, you just have to know what streets to go down to, even if you go down the street, I remember there was a street called, Harmon, there still is, but growing up, Harmon, it was a 50-50 every now and then.
Yeah. This is nothing like Sofa.
Nothing like the opposite. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
When kids in both lip talk tough, I just smile and.
So many people talk tough.
Yeah, they do. And I say you live in a gated community, which is fine.
Yeah.
I wish I grew up in a big gated community.
Go to private school.
Go to private school. My
go to
kids.
Shopping spree daily.
My kids they're growing up in a gated community, which I'm proud of because.
Tough. You did it.
And actually the Marines made that happen because when we were deployed, I had 3 deployments in 4 years. We, get a lot of, I guess, promotional pay. We get hazard pay, separations pay. We get, combat pay, employment combat zone. And since we're deployed, we don't have anything to spend our money on, right?
Yeah.
So no materialistic stuff gets bought during deployment. So that time was spent me saving up the money. So 3 years or 3 deployments of me saving up money and kind of afforded us to live down there. But yeah, all in all, it's, when I was growing up, I started boxing at the age of 12, cause, to be honest, I got into a lot of fights. I got jumped a few times. I don't think I ever told you.
You got jumped?
Yeah.
Did you pow?
Oh yeah, but I didn't know how to fight at the time. Then at age 12, I learned how to box and defend myself. And, I did that up until the age of 16. And I started off with my friend's basements, which was a terrible idea. We just got drugs, started doing turn things. And I was like, this isn't going nowhere. We just get moved up and bloody mouse. I joined the boxing gym and my coach actually, in Spanish, taught me how to box, and there was.
Espanol.
Espanol, yeah. And he was a Dominican guy. He gave me a public. And what's it raining? It's raining.
It's raining.
It's good for the ambiance.
Yeah.
We're getting depressing right now.
Yeah, a little depressing.
Little
Alright, that's okay. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So after the Marines, did you go to therapy?
So yeah, funny story. Kind of funny.
Funny?
Not really funny, but we had so I went to community college right after the Marines, right? Which was not my intentions. I wanted to go straight into so I was interested in architecture at first, right? And then I went to school for architecture to begin with. But then I realized how much math is involved in architecture. I said, no way, not doing this. Right? Because math is not my strong suit.
Really?
So, good. But English, literature, science is the strong suit. So I went to a community college instead. I started off at Hunter University. Went to LaGuardia Community College. And I studied physical therapy. And while I was in physical therapy school, I found out there was a program for military veterans, right? In the school.
Yeah.
So they would help you out with, homework assignments or math homework, English homework, whatever you needed.
For college.
For college.
Okay.
And there was other veterans helping other veterans. And I loved it. And these veterans, some were combat veterans, some weren't. But they kind of brought up to my knowledge that, I have signed PTSD. I didn't believe it.
They saw that through school?
Yes, the veterans told me, like, you have PTSD symptom, please get it checked out. And it took me about 3 months until I actually took it to consideration and said, you know what, I think you may be right.
So, how did they see that?
I was irritable. I was lacking sleep. I did not sleep. There was nights I would not sleep. Not even 10 minutes. Not even an hour of sleep. And that would go on for weeks. Until it actually went up to the next crash.
That's terrible.
And that built up on the irritability and just lack of, patience. And I was actually very, mouthy. I talked back a lot. And very temperamental. And I know you can't see me that way. I can't see myself that way.
You were like so full of joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's one of my favorite people, guys.
Oh, thank you. You're one of my favorite clients. I love
Here we
working with
are.
you, honestly. You make me laugh all the time. But
That's why we're laughing here. We're
Yeah.
talking about this.
and yeah, so I got a sense, or I got advice to go seek help, and I did. I went to the VA in Manhattan, and my first visit to the mental health, I guess, departments didn't go so well. I got so I remember going into the nurse's office in the mental health department. We did an assessment verbally. She checked off some boxes, rated it, and then my idea, because I just came out of school, went straight to the VA. My idea was that I was going to go in, get admitted, and say, okay, we have a date scheduled for you to come back and see somebody a week after, whatever it may be, right? And the nurse said, okay, we're not going to let you leave. We're going to actually keep you. They held me for about 4 hours, and I was flipping shit. Like, I was like pissed off. I was tired. I had no sleep, irritable, temperamental, all that. And I wanted to leave, and they told me, this is the reason you're not leaving, because, and they deemed me as suicidal. I'm not ethically suicidal, right?
Yeah.
I would not, never in my mind would I have thought I even came close to doing that. But according to the answers, I was. I just don't know why, but I don't think I ever was. They said I was. Maybe I have been and never saw the symptoms or signs.
Subconscious thing.
Exactly, yeah. But being a combat veteran, I did, I did make friends that were in combat, and reflecting on their experience, I can't see why they did that. Now I see it. Back then I didn't see it, but now I do see
You're
it.
stuck in the bubble.
Yes, exactly. But it was definitely something I had to overcome. And it's tough to overcome because you don't really see it. If you don't acknowledge it and you don't recognize the signs, it's just very hard to actually say, yeah, I do struggle with symptoms.
Like, you can probably see it in other people.
Yes, I see it now. Yeah, I see it now too. But, and another thing is, the mental toughness that you bring up, right? Growing up in New York, kind of like, being depressed or suicide, it's not an option. You got kind of fight through day in and day out. Yeah, toughen up. And then go through boxing, competing in boxing.
You competed in boxing?
Not at a high level, because everybody in New York competes, and there are a lot of people that compete. So people here think I'm like Golden Glove level. Like, no, not even close to it.
You do a lot through that.
Yeah. There are a lot of people that are very talented out there, and I can never compete at their level. It's
of course
very tough. I could if I really wanted to, but it's a lot of work.
We can go to the ring. Maybe we can practice.
Yeah, I've sparred. Last time I sparred was 2017.
A long time.
Yeah, but it's actually legitimately sparring in the ring was 2017. I sparred a few trainers here, which is fun, but. Yeah, it's not much of a competition for me. It's more of me teaching them how to defend themselves.
Yeah, that's like a very
I haven't hit you yet, so.
Oh yeah, no. So speaking of therapy, what do you think? Do you think it helped you?
I think it's meant for people who want the help, right? And I'm not against people getting help. It's not for everybody, I think. And there's different avenues of approach for therapy. There's talk therapy, there's group therapy, there's actually horse therapy, art therapy. And I've tried almost everything under the sun. And I think for me, it's more of I call it fitness therapy. The gym or knowledge therapy, right? So.
What do you mean by knowledge?
I'm glad you asked that question. So it's, the more you learn, the more your mind kind of separates from. There's something called an ego and a super ego, right?
I learned that.
So the more your mind kind of separates from being attached to that super ego or ego mentally, right? Straight from you, like inside of you, it just separates because you're kind of going down a different path now with the road, right? You feed your brain more, and you understand more of the human body, the psychology of a person. And for me, it started off as the physical therapy, right?
Yeah.
Because in the Marines, I did get injured, and my most severe injury was shoulder, which I had a shoulder impingement, which Comes to find out it was just, muscle going the wrong direction, basically. One muscle pulling more than the other one and it just compensates.
Yeah.
And that helped me mentally overcome any barriers I've had. But, deep down, there's still something there.
Yeah, of course.
I just haven't found, learning what I know about, psychology, I haven't found the trigger for it yet. And I think I overcame that on my own without the therapy. Not saying it didn't help at all, because I had, great therapists in the past. I actually still recommend my most recent one, which is Dr. Nick Landry. And
Oh, guys, if you need a therapist, say that again.
Shout out to Nick Landry. He, the most amazing therapy I've ever had. He understood where I was coming from with the knowledge, and he informed me that the different types of therapy were, you can either be a friend's therapist or a counselor therapist or analytical therapist. Right?
He could be any of those?
He could be any of those. And depending on who the client is and how they react to certain therapy, he would approach it in one of those three. There's probably more.
Yeah.
But from what I understood, one of those three. And for me, it was more of a friend talk therapy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to connect with the person on their level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
so, do you think that's the person who helped you the most out of all the people?
No. I honestly.
Was it Natalie?
It was Natalie.
His wife.
My wife. She, I don't think I ever told you the story, but before I met her, so I was a personal trainer and she got hired as a trainer. And before I actually met her, I was so busy trying to distract myself with work and life, right? I was going to school full time. I was working full time. I was doing, boxing events, tournaments, and this was 2017. And then, 2017. 16 maybe. And then I was working out on my own. I was trying to compete in bodybuilding and in competitions for boxing around New York City. And it was tough, I was depriving myself of sleep, nutrition, energy was just lacking, but I was in the best shape physically, but my mental state was the worst.
That's so weird. You usually feel in the best physical state.
Yeah.
Mental state.
Yeah. It was just an overdrive, right?
Yeah.
Lack of sleep. And she came along. I didn't want any kids. I didn't want to be in a relationship. I just didn't want anything to do with people.
Yeah.
Right? And she came along and she was the complete opposite. She wanted a family. She wanted everything to do with people. She was bubbly. She was just glowing and radiant with, just a bubbly personality.
Yeah. Maybe opposites do attract.
They do, yeah.
Except you guys are similar now. In some
we
ways.
kind of, we have this middle ground where we meet at, and that's where, how do I say this? That's where we kind of just find commonality in everything, right? Kind of like, we have the same values for kids, raising the kids, fitness, nutrition, health, mental states, right?
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of different things. Every couple does, right? Every relationship things.
So you have the same values?
Same values, yeah.
That's what matters.
Yes, and we agreed to everything that we've done so far. We've agreed on mutually. Like, there's no disagreements. We kind of discussed it in a more mature manner and never argue, like, to a sense where we had to scream at each other. We always sit down and talk about it, right? She doesn't want problems. I don't want any stress. So it's like,
sometimes the best therapists have the same last name as you. You
yeah,
understand what I'm
yes,
saying?
yeah.
That's what I say about my dad.
Yeah.
And now
That's true.
Oscar, except we don't have the same last name.
No, we don't, but.
I call him like the 5-in-1 shampoo bottle.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
You're like my boxing coach, my therapist,
okay,
my friends,
Aw.
my mentor.
Yeah.
All the things. Same with my other trainer, Brooke.
Yeah.
We could do another episode with her.
You should. I like Brooke.
Yeah.
Honestly, you and Brooke have very similar personalities to Natalie.
Really?
And I think I gravitate more towards, ever since Natalie, I think I gravitate more towards people like that. I don't know why, but it's just, it attracts me to those people, you know? Because when I met Brooke, she literally came up to me and she said, "Oh, you're a veteran." I said, "Yeah."
She just knew?
No, well, I introduced myself in the meeting.
Wow.
And then I think it was the next day, she's like, "Oh, so you're a veteran. What kind of veteran are you? You're a tin-foiled hat veteran."
What is it?
It's like somebody that's paranoid that the government is after me, things like that. So I would send foil to black out their frequencies. You know. And I laughed about it. I said, "F no, I'm not." And then we just kind of meshed well together.
Yeah. Now we all mesh well together.
We do.
Here at Lifetime
Yeah.
Fitness.
And I feel like we're building a bubbly community.
We are.
Yeah.
At Lifetime or Way.
A lifetime.
Yeah.
In general.
This is the best place to be.
It is, yeah.
Do you agree?
I do agree, yeah. And honestly, I think I don't see myself as a protector or by any means, right? But I will, if I have to, protect you. And I told this to Natalie.
Thank you.
I was like, if anybody, and to Brooke actually, if anybody messes with Mika, I am there. If anybody
You see,
messes with
guys?
Brooke, I am there. But
Wow.
and Natalie too, and I'll just, you know, and I defend you guys. If anybody has anything negative to say, which I've never had any negative on you or Brooke,
Thank you.
you know, I will always defend you guys. Just
I'll
naturally.
always defend you too.
Oh, thank you.
With all my boxing skills.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, don't meet her in the parking lot. She's dangerous.
Yeah, don't.
And then she smiles, so it's
Yeah.
even more
And then I'll
dangerous.
laugh too.
Yeah. When I had my last sparring session here, actually,
Your last what?
sparring session,
Oh,
boxing.
okay, yeah.
It was an operations manager. He left, but he,
Is his name Luke by any chance?
no, it wasn't Luke. I wish it was, no. But it would have been fun because he's got a long reach, but I forgot his name actually.
Oh, Oscar.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but he stopped the sparring session because he said I was smiling too much. And that was a sense of, serial killer. Like, that was a sign of a serial killer. I was like, no.
But
It was
smiling's so good.
It is. I think I've been smiling this entire issue, but smiling kind of, is my thing now. Ever
Me
since I met
too.
Natalie, it's just,
This is so good,
yeah,
Oscar.
I love it, yeah.
I have one more thing to say.
Mhm.
You remember what we said last time in the
No.
beginning of our session?
I did it.
I could tell you and everybody else. Could
What
too.
is it?
I said there will always be people who don't like you, and there will always be people who do like you. So
Yeah.
you have to be yourself.
Yes,
Right,
I love
Oscar?
that. You have to
Yeah.
be yourself. Be yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining me today, Oscar, on the next
Anytime.
episode of the Quest for Knowledge.
Yes, just an hour.
This will be on Spotify, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So tune in, everybody, and make it your mission to make somebody else smile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Bye.